Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to my channel, The Guided Intuitive, and thank you so much for being here. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to do a read for the month of April, and this will cover everything that's having to do with your career. What I wanted to do is to be kind of like that career kind of counselor in this particular read, because we're going to see what your talents are, what your passions are, and then what we can do to combine them, and what direction, what does that look like for you, and give you some options and get your kind of your brainstorming kind of going. So I thought, well, this will be a perfect month to do it, just to shower you with lots of different ideas in the month of April, and that will give you an opportunity to choose, hey, I might want to go this way, I might want to go that way, but at least you're going to get a little bit more detail, in terms of the month. Now, this is a general read, so I'll be tapping into general energies. So if, it's going to be all for Aqua, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. But if you'd like a personal, read that taps your own personal energies, definitely go to theguidedintuitive.com up here or my description box below. And many of you that are kind of on the precipice of knowing kind of really what you want to do and just need to take that next step, definitely book the discovery session up here, because that's going to allow us to really hone in on what it is that you want in terms of the future as it relates to your career, and setting up not only the strategy side of it, but also the soul with it, and combining them both. And that's exactly what I do in my business. I have a strategy business, and then I also have a soul business. And what I do is I combine them both when it comes to my coaching. So if you're interested in that, you want to book a discovery session up here for a quick little opportunity for us to meet and maybe discuss and make some recommendations as to what program will be best for you. All right. So let's jump into this and see what April has in store, and how we can get going in combining your career with, what it is that you're passionate about, and bringing that together here. I actually was a contributing author for a couple books as it relates to job search. So it was kind of exciting, and I really enjoyed it. And I think myself, I've gone through 4 of them. And believe me, I know the mistakes and the retakes that need to take place before getting to what it is that you truly want to, I guess, partake into, in your life. And that's what this is. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first card's going to talk about what you're passionate about, Aqua. Okay. Now I'm an Aqua too, so we're going to jump into this. Beautiful, guys. This is beautiful. I have a lot of you out there that are your own celebrity. Okay, now so many of you might be, a YouTuber. Many of you might be an actual celebrity yourself, obviously. And I have worked with many of them. And what this talks about here is what you're very, very passionate about is becoming that celebrity. And that's exactly what I'm getting. There's a lot of energy, that orange energy there, right? So this is really talking about that you actually, in whatever it is that you do, you lead by your light, okay? And others are kind of attracted. They're attracted to that. It's kind of like a moth that's coming to light. People are attracted to that. So you've got this kind of kind of effervescence quality about yourself that people are attracted to. And so that's what you lead by, because that's an innate quality that you have in yourself. And so whatever it is that you're focusing on, you have that ability to bring others into your own light, because you're leading with light. Okay. So what this talks about here is about being very imaginative, being very kind of charismatic as in terms of what it is that you do here. It's also being very authentic and very confident in yourself, right? It also talks about that you have to be impactful. Yes, you lead with your light, but then also I feel that this is also about being, very fashionable. So many of you are also involved in fashions and kind of want to take it to that next step as well. So this is pretty exciting. I love seeing that. So there is a quality about you, and also a very unique way that you do things, right? Very unique way that you kind of spin things to bring others in. So for those of you that are looking to become that celebrity, it actually focuses on the sun, which is one of the best card decks within the tarot deck. But what this is saying is that you, with leading by your light, you can't help but lead the way for others, and kind of show them the way. So this is really, really good. It talks. This is about a 9 card. It's like the Sun card. But the number on this card is really talking to me. It's found on the 19th page, which tells me that it's like this brand new beginning. So many of you are realizing that this is a special quality that I have, and how do I use it, and it's a passion that I have, and how do I use it, and how do I kind of make that work in the best way possible for me in terms of moving forward. So it's all about using your innate qualities. So what this also talks about too is that you shine to lead others on a mission or a movement in the world. So there is, again, being an empath or, something of the sort that you truly believe in. You use your light to bring others to you rather than you go out and get others, okay? And that's a quality that you have, Aqua, and bless you. I mean, I think this is so beautiful. And that's why it's even more important to choose what it is that you want and the movement that you want to back up. And so that's going to be really, really key. Now, the shadow side is about being a little bit more self-centered and kind of egotistic, so to speak. So you're playing in your darker side when you hit that, as opposed to your lighter side, right? Because your lighter side will really talk about, that it's all about your purpose. I lead with my light, right? And I stand behind some sort of purpose for the greater good, all right? So use your powers to lead and uplift others, and that's exactly what I get here. So it's really like, and then what a perfect time to happen, because on April 7th, we've got the pink supermoon, which is blooming, right? So many of you might be having a new rebirth, a new blooming in terms of your career and what that looks like for you. And you were just born to shine your radiance into the world. And that's what's really coming into play. So that is actually your passion at this particular time right now. So that's exactly what I see. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it is what you're good at. Okay. So we know that's an innate talent of yours. Let's see what you're good at. And I'm getting technical into this stuff, you guys, because I really believe in, looking things over. And this is a time for opportunity for many of us to, hone in on what we're really good at and what we want to do for our life and our life purpose. Okay. This talks about the Muse. So this is interesting. So remember we talked about the celebrity in terms of that you inspire others. Well, this is about being inspired, you inspire and you are inspired. So you inspire others and others inspire you. And this is about the Muse. Okay. So that's what I get when I come through. Now, this is all about being intuitive. Okay. This is very much about idealistic and also being creative, right? You can kind of see there's this little kind of like a fairy there. She's kind of being creative as it pertains to, what it is that she loves in life. I mean, obviously she's an animal lover, but this really talks about being very sensitive and being very emotional, and picks up on the feelings of animals and different things, and others around him or her. So if you are wondering what it is that you're good at, you are really, really good at inspiring others and having others inspire you. And I think that is just awe. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. It's being very passionate, but also there's a component that's emotionally sensitive about you, but that's what really makes it a really great thing. That's why you are able to inspire others, because they can relate to you, okay? And they can kind of tap in, to your energy there a little bit as well. I'm missing something. Okay, good. Okay, so that is the Muse. And I want to see if there's anything else that I want to add to this. So as I look at this card, because it looks like, she's very, very magical. And it looks like and there's a lot of pink there, so it tells me that it's kind of like carrying on that feminine energy, so to speak, as well. It could be also too that at this particular time is that it's kind of like you look at life and life in general, and it's like you think that life is a form of art, and that's how you treat your life, as a form of art. So what you're really good at is looking at life and saying, how can I artfully create this life that I want in an artful way, and also get paid for it by doing that and being of help to others, whether it's being inspiring or being inspired. So this is really cool. This is what I really, really love. Now keep in mind that you are when you get to become an inner critic, when you self-criticize yourself a little bit and you get into control issues, or you have a lack of follow-through, that is acting on your shadow side. Okay. And when you kind of go into that, what you want to do is to really focus on the desire, and that is about to channel for the creative and the genius in you. So when you're feeling kind of low and scattered, then it's time to step back and really hone in on what it is that your creativity and your genius in you. Okay. So that's what's coming into play. As the muse, it's kind of like, the title of the card is like your purpose and mission is just to make life a form of art. Okay. And that's exactly what I see. So that actually falls here within your talent. Okay. So it's what you're really, really good at. Now, how can you combine your passion of the celebrity and your talent as the muse, right? Which is, inspiring others and being inspired. Let's take a look at what that is for you. Okay. Let's take a look at what comes through for you here. Okay. Here it is. Here it is. Oh, this is too perfect for you, Aqua. I think this is so beautiful. This is about the truth will set me free. This is about being the sage. This is so absolutely beautiful. Being as wise as that owl, right? And what this tells me about is that what's really important is that it's got to be something spiritual. It's got to be something intuitively inspired, right? And it's also about, it could be something that is charitable as well, okay? It has to offer some sort of perception for others, right? You see the owl's got that jewel above the eyes. And so what that just tells me that it's about using kind of your keen sense of perception. And it does talk about, it does talk about being wealthy and being that sage. So you could be a sage for others, where they're teaching others are learning from you is very, very key. So that's what I see comes into play here. It's quite beautiful. And I think the biggest thing here for you to remember is that this is very expansive. This is about expansive thinking, but it's also about seeking the truth and not being afraid to share truth or share your truth in what it is that you do for your life or your work and whatever that looks like. Okay, your purpose and your calling. So that seems to be coming through too. Okay, so that's really beautiful. So I also know too is that sometimes that when you are at kind of like the lower levels on the shadow side, you could be it could focus on a little bit more in terms of rebellion. So you know that you're more on your shadow side of the sage when you get into rebellion, or you become someone that's like a know-it-all, right? I always say that we're all students of learning, and that never ends. And when you feel that you've learned enough, you've stopped learning, so it's kind of like being a student of learning for life. And so that's really, really key. So you know that you're operating very, very low when you become overconfident and become a know-it-all. That's when you have to step back and kind of move back up into what it is that your soul's desire is. And that's exactly what I focus on with you, is getting into that and tapping into that and being the channel for truth and the channel for your own freedom to express your truth in what it is that you do. So whatever it is, it's something that it is your truth in you. Okay. And so it could be a lot of different things. It could be, you going into a wise teacher, right? It could be a wise teacher. It could be an advisor, a counselor of some sort. It could be an expert, problem solver, or being able to simplify very complicated material or complex material and honing in and making it really simple. On my strategy side, I get paid for a lot of that, and that's exactly what I do on the strategy side for in terms of my work. But it's so interesting. What it is for you. You have to have some sort of huge vision for yourself, right? And this is again an advisor or a wise teacher. So many of you might already be there, but this is what's coming into play, and I love this. I absolutely love this. And so, yeah, that's what I see here. It was really, really key. I wrote down a couple of things on some notes, and I had to kind of, just in terms of some of the things that kind of stood out to me, but it really falls in line with this. How do you make this happen? How do you make this happen, Aquarius? What does that look like? An advocate. So this is about aligning with the greater good of all. So being the advocate, it could be behind, again, an organization of some sort, right? Leading an organization, leading your truth, or your message that you do want to get across to others. So this is about being that humanitarian and being extremely resourceful. It's kind of like teaching others to move towards the sun. This is just absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad I'm doing these reads because I think it's just so in alignment with a lot of us on where we're at. And sometimes we need a little bit of a foundation, to kind of say, okay, where am I at? Where can I start? And this is a good start first. But yeah, so this is about being very, driven and devoted. So how you can make this happen is to really be realistic and be resilient in terms of what it is that you want. This is also about being very compassionate, and also having good intentions. So it's all about, again, the greater good of all. And so that's what I get when I see the advocate, because that's something that's really, really important in terms of the process, advocating for others who do not have a voice. It could be, with animals, it could be with the environment, it could be, in terms of spirituality, whatever that is. But that's exactly what I see. I want to take a look to where your advice is for the path, and then we'll close this out. Okay, your advice for your path, what is it? Oh gosh, this is interesting. Guys, this is so interesting. You know how you got the sun at the very beginning, that you got the celebrity? Well, guess what you get at the very, very end? The king. And what you're going to find that is, similar to both is that the sun, you lead others to light. You are inspiration. And the king says the sun, as you see right here. The celebrity says the sun right there. Okay, so this is absolutely enlightening, so to speak. So what this is telling me, your advice for your path is to powerfully lead your mission. So whatever that is for you, if you're stepping into, again, backing up an organization, being a humanitarian, a purpose, a vision in your life, again, creating that art form in your life and bringing it on the physical plane and making it realistic in terms of how you can monetize that. So if you're interested in knowing a little bit more, you definitely want to go to a discovery session up here, and we can book that and get you to have some one-on-one time and make a recommendation. But that's actually is that you lead by your mission. You see that there's that Leo courageous energy, and it's really, really coming through for you here. So I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's like putting on that passion robe, looking out and saying, I lead others courageously. And so your advice for this path is to lead, but to powerfully lead by your mission. And I think that's one of the biggest things. It's kind of like you're taking on that type of energy. And I mean, I just see that it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, I look over the sunset and over the horizon, and I see this beautiful king here. And what's interesting is that in this particular deck, the king comes just before the celebrity itself. So they're both, in terms of having to be courageous in this process. But yeah, that's the key thing. You powerfully lead by your mission. You are a visionary, and it's also about, respecting yourself and respecting others. So you lead with humility, but you lead nevertheless. And one of the big things is that you excel at, resiliency and, wealth, in your business, in the community, in an organization. Okay. So in your shadow side is that if you're becoming a little bit more overbearing or over controlling, that's when you've got to stand back. And you've got to say, okay, no, that is not, I don't want to feel isolated and do that. What I want to do is step back into my purpose. And this would be to, use your power that you have, Aqua, for order, growth, and, also for security. Okay. And could be offering that to yourself, but also more, for others. You're being creative in your own domain and leading the life and leading your mission. Okay. You've got this big vision, and it's a noble vision is what I feel. So many of you, are just really tapping into the universal power of the collective, and really tying yourself in to manifest and receive the spiritual material wealth that you're looking for. So a lot of you are really truly doing that right now. So it's exactly what I see here. It's absolutely beautiful. So I think one of the key things to remember too, guys, is that know that, keep in mind these powerful affirmations in here. If this is what you want, that, I release all negative energy over money, and that wealth constantly flows into my life. And this is about doing it in a good way, that you powerfully lead your mission that way. And it's also about kings really magnify their brilliance and their power. And that's one thing I want you to remember. They're very strategic in their relationships. So when they, get involved with others, they're very strategic in terms of that. So that's something to really, definitely be aware of. And it's someone that they can trust in terms of that can also help lead the vision with them, okay, and help carry out your mission. So your strategic people that you align with within your business is going to be those type of people. So I think this is absolutely beautiful, guys. I am excited to do this for you. Note your comments below and let me know if you like this and if it's something that you enjoy. But I thought I would definitely do this as a special for the month of April, especially with the timing involved. So I'd love to hear your comments and your notations below. And again, for those of you that are looking to take it a step further and want that accountability, that inspiration, and motivation, and that clarity of what the next steps are to move forward, and you truly have something in your mind that you'd like to move forward on, you definitely want to book a discovery session up there. So until next time, namaste.